Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for the UBC Lunchtime News, the weekly roundup edition, news edition. And welcome back from the Janan Luwum celebrations. And without further ado, let's start off with the first story. This week, President Museveni urged European investors to tap into Uganda's growing market, emphasizing the country's potential in agriculture, aquaculture, and environmental sustainability. Speaking at State Lodge Irenga in Ntungamo, the president expressed concern over Europe's dwindling investment and the footprint in Africa, contrasting it with the rising influence of Chinese investors. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni also praised European ventures already established in Uganda, including liquid coffee already established in Uganda, avocado exports and medical waste solutions, pledging government support to bolster these investments. He also unveiled a strategic plan to restore degraded wetlands by relocating farmers to the peripheries for sustainable fish farming, before criticizing swamp rice cultivation for harming the Nile River's tributaries. President Museveni further reiterated his commitment to fostering foreign investment that contributed to Uganda's economic development while ensuring environmental sustainability. These are some of the highlights.
Uganda has favored us. It has done all the engineering. You have all these mountains, those hills like here, where you can pump water to a high ground and it comes by gravity to do irrigation, to do whatever you want to do. So you can see the combination, the fish farming, the wetland reclamation, the reclamation of the water, then using the water for irrigation. I think God has arranged all my stakeholders together today here. The diplomats, the private sector in the different areas. So I'm really very happy with we have got a lot of work to do with water and with energy, a lot of work.
And furthermore, the Deputy Chief of Defense Forces and Inspector of the Defense, Lieutenant General Samuel Okiding, highlighted the importance of military drills in fostering discipline and adherence to orders within the military. He emphasizes that drills play a crucial role in ensuring synchronized coordination during the operations, both in peacetime and in wartime. Ivan Kawa has a report.
The UPDF has inaugurated the CDF Inter-Forces Drill Competition 2025, which will now be held annually. The Deputy Chief of Defense Forces and Inspector of Defense, Lieutenant General Samuel Okiding, launched the first edition at the Bombo Military Playgrounds.
That 15 formations have been registered to participate in the first edition of this competition. Today, you will launch them to officially commence the preparations.
The Chief of Defense Forces Inter-Forces Drill Competitions aim at showcasing military excellency, discipline and teamwork among the members of the Uganda People's Defense Forces to enhance operational readiness and effectiveness. The activities include sword, crop stick, cane stick, foot and band drills performed by both senior and junior officers.
Our comprehensive training program will blend together the diverse threads of our strength and capabilities, forming a rich tapestry that showcases the unique mosaic of our identity as the disciplined and professional force.
Lieutenant General Samuel Okidingi highlighted the importance of military drills in enhancing operational effectiveness.
They were guided by a certain level of discipline. And that's what they are carrying to the formations to go and teach our colleagues. As you can see, I've never seen a squad of one man. Everybody was reporting, we are 10, we are 15, we are 18. So the same teamwork, the same spirit is what they are going to instill in the formations.
He argued that alertness is a core principle of readiness and coordination.
I think we saw it here. When the mind is not alert, some people will turn to the left instead of going to the right. So those are the things we try to address during peacetime. Peacetime is always difficult. It has challenges. Afande CDF sat down and said, no, we can't be like this. There must be something to keep our thinking upright, so that if the other part comes, the war, we don't pray for war, but as we are all aware, wars are situational. You cannot stop a situation. If you can, well and good. But there are times a situation crops up and it necessitates you to react. And for us, we don't react with the sticks or throwing stones, no. We react as men. So the best is to prepare.
Similar events will be held across various military units, with the grand finale set for May 12, 2025 at the Kololo Ceremonial Grounds in Kampala. Ivan Kahwa and Daniel Lugemwa, UBC News.
All right, welcome back from that story, Ivan Kao. I think it's important to keep the military busy in times of peace, because that's the only way that they can be able to stay agile and fit for the mission when they are required to go in the field. Other than that, most of you always heard about the new curriculum of it, the education curriculum, the new lower secondary school curriculum. And of course, as they always say, the beginning of anything always has its cycle. And this year, we received the first lot of results from the students, or can I say candidates, that sat the first lot of the lower secondary school curriculum. And today with me, I have education experts, and that is none other than Mr. Katimbo Gordon, who is the headmaster of Hilton High School in Mukono, and Mr. Namisi Geoffrey, who is the director of studies at this school. Very welcome, gentlemen.
You're welcome.
And without further ado, I would like to take it straight into the conversation of, first and foremost, we'll talk about your performance, but I want us to have an overview of the new lower secondary school curriculum, and I'm told that your school performed exceptionally well. But before we dig into that, the new O-level curriculum, what has been your experience of the new curriculum compared to the previous one? Is it something that is relevant for the education sector of Uganda? And I'll go with Mr. Katimbo Gordon first.
Thank you. My name is Katimbo Gordon, and I'm the head teacher of Hilton High School, Mukono. I am happy to be here this afternoon and to share experience. I want to inform the public that, as a matter of fact, the new curriculum has a lot of changes. The new curriculum is very different from the old curriculum in one way or another. First, in the old curriculum, it encouraged rote learning. The students were takers of whatever the teachers were giving. Actually, what happened, we used to go to the classroom, dictate notes to these learners, and whatever you give is what they would take. What happens in the new curriculum, it is encouraging more of the learner than the teacher. In fact, the students have a lot of discussion, they have a lot of research to do, and a lot of innovations. You have heard of what they call project work. That project work is by the student. The student starts all the stages of this project work, and by the time this work is produced, this learner is fully aware of the processes it has taken and can stand to defend it.
Okay.
Which was different from our time,
Yes.
because ours was, the old curriculum would be question, answer, and therefore the hands-on was missing.
Okay.
So the new curriculum has really improved in this issue.
And then maybe then I'll take it to the Director of Studies, Mr. Namisi. How did you ensure that your students catch up with the new lower secondary school curriculum?
Yes. Thank you very much, the moderator of this program. I also want to take this opportunity to, one, thank UBC for inviting us here for this talk show. Very timely and important, especially at the time when parents have received the first results of this kind. As Hilton High School, of course, when the new curriculum was rolled, you have no option but to dive into what
You've been given.
What is required
Yeah.
to have the learners achieve whatever they need to achieve. Like the head teacher has put it, it's so demanding. First of all, you have to ensure that your ICT department is fully equipped.
Okay.
But that then depends on the numbers that you have. As I speak right now, Hilton has about a population of 1,300 students.
That's from O-level and A-level
Yes,
together?
so that is all combined.
Okay.
So you find that in a candidate class, at most, at one structure, you would have like 150 candidates. Now, it is a good practice that the institution and the management of the institution have no option but to dive into acquiring equipments. One, you need resource library. That one will ensure that we have. Two, how is your ICT department working? So we had to ensure that some of these facilities and equipments are brought on board. But it was good that we had some time to catch up because these equipments are very expensive. So we had to dive into the budget and see how can we have that run across the 3 years before actually these learners go into the actual facing of the exam of the new curriculum. You remember these ones start without any reference. We didn't have past papers for them. Everybody was struggling to see what will come on table. And really when it came on table, we had to produce good results.
So just help me clarify, where do ICT and the new lower secondary school curriculum meet? Because this is not a resource that so many schools will be privileged to have.
Actually, I don't know if it is good manners to tell you that it is compulsory. Because in the new curriculum, there is no way a facilitator, now a former teacher, you used to call us teachers, we are now facilitators in the new curriculum. So in all across the subjects, at one time, you will have an activity that will require you to use ICT. Whether you're in humanities or whether you're in the sciences. Because you are using videos, recorded videos. You are using projectors for these learners to have the first feel of it. So there's no way you are going to dive out of it. Now that one becomes a challenge. Like you said, not all schools may have these equipments. Yeah. Now, what is the policy telling you? That as this comes on board, government should deliberately look at policy and see how, if it is not Hilton High School, what is a member from my village where I come from, in Ududa, do they have those facilities? So the government should come in. You remember in the private sector, we are running our own budget. Yet in the government, I think they are helped a little bit. So you find that the ground is not level. But as a school and the management, you have to find ways of ensuring that you get on board. Whereas we look at education as a service, it is also a business. You don't have the facilities, no clients. That's what I can say.
All right, so now we have the results back, and this week we saw, a number of opinions and views from different stakeholders that were having trouble interpreting the results. So I'll bring it to you, Mr. Katimbo. The new challenge of interpreting the results, both parents and the public, how can this be looked at in general now?
Thank you so much, moderator. The new challenge of result interpretation. Indeed, I want to say that the first time this came, even us on the first day of release, we were not yet sure.
Okay.
Because one would call you, how are these? You say, let me first look at them further and understand. But of course, UNEB helped and gave the interpretation. Number one, results were given in form of, there is category A, category B, C, D, and E. Those levels of performance. Level A, B, C, D, and E. Now, all students, first of all, to have excelled, needed to score A, especially all those who got A across all board. Those were exceptional.
When you talk about across all board, that's across all subjects examined.
All subjects, somebody performing with A. That is exceptional performance for a student. But also at the end, there was the project work. That project work which students did before UNEB, they were doing in each subject, there was a project that they had to do, and that we sent to UNEB. So a student had to score those levels, but also go to the project work. So to interpret them, and at the end of the day, UNEB gave, there was result 1, there was result 2, 3, and 4. So result 1, actually all people who did all the exams and passed with those levels had result 1, meaning that every student qualifies for a certificate at the end of the day and is able to proceed to the next level. So all those who got result 1 are able to go to senior 5.
Okay.
To admission for senior 5.
Okay.
Yes.
So then I'll take you to Mr. Namisi. How did Hilton perform based on this curriculum, and what do you think attributed to your success?
Thank you very much, moderator. But there's something that I thought I would throw.
Please.
A stone on what the head teacher has submitted. Now, in the public, we have mixed feelings about the results released. Why? You have a population of parents who are still locked in the old system. So results come in, they are telling you how many first grades. But now, in the new curriculum, for interpretation of those results, all subjects stand alone.
So they don't give you like a together...
don't bring in anything like together. Chemistry stands alone. If my son sat for these exams and they are back, like he has explained, look at what he has scored in chemistry. If it is an A, just know he was exceptional. If he was in B, that's know he was outstanding. Don't compare your chemistry and math. That's why we don't have any totals anywhere. And that is what the public should pick.
So how is this going to translate now that you have an A-level side? How is this going to translate in admission into A-level in terms of the choices of combinations these people are going to be doing?
The choices are already on from the guidance from the placement officers from the ministry. We are already admitting combinations like we have done in the past. Okay. But now schools are picking customized combinations and we will set standards. At Hilton right now, for you to dive into the science subjects, we are saying you should either have A or a B.
Okay.
If you are from up country, we shall give you chance because of the facilities we raised.
Yes.
If you have a C, we can do that for you in the sciences. But when you go to D and E, we shall have a lot of question marks with you. To the question that you asked about the performance of Hilton.
Maybe before that, just to add something, on basically combinations have not changed from the old curriculum. The combinations have stayed. Somebody is going to do biology, chemistry, math. Somebody is going to do history, economics, geography, like the situation was. But as he said, they are basing on the other standalone subjects. How did somebody perform in biology? A. If you have A, how did you perform in chemistry? Say B. And what was it in math? It was A. Therefore, you are able to do your BCM, stroke ICT, like the situation was.
Okay, then before still Mr. Namisi comes in,
Yes.
I would really like to understand, then how are you going to handle these students in senior 5? Are you going to be teaching them with the new curriculum also now?
What?
I think let Mr. Namisi answer that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Now, what the ministry has done for us, the content has been revisited. The
Abridged.
content, and it has now been abridged. But what is changing the methodology? We're not going to use the old curriculum. This business of, like he explained, going to class, you are the master of the content. No, we are changing the system of teaching like it has been in the O-level to suit the new curriculum. So that the learners will still continue with what we call continuous assessment, because this has not been in the old curriculum. So when you have continuous assessment and project work, definitely you have to change the methodology. Because as we stand right now, 30% is to the teacher, and then 70% is to the what? To the learners. So you find that there's no way you can have the old curriculum being taught to this current senior 5.
So when you said 30% to the teacher is also being examined?
No, in terms of
The
delivery.
contribution.
Oh, the contribution.
to content.
Okay, okay.
Contribution to content.
All right,
Content.
okay, I get that.
That's why we're emphasizing that if you are you a parent?
Yes, I am a parent.
If you have one child joining senior 5, you should be taking note one of the following. Like I said, the resource. Does the school have the resource?
Okay.
When I talk about the resource, I'm talking about the library. The timetables have now changed. If you have to gazette time for the learners to go and do research. Now, that's why I said government is really putting us in a very tricky situation. We want to appreciate them for the support, but to what extent do schools have these facilities?
Yes.
That's why I was saying that parents running to urban schools, they are right. Because where we are coming from, where I come from in Bududa, even power is a challenge. So you find that if you check a learner there, yet at that level, the learner is actually defining the future to cross to the university. So parents must be very careful here when they are picking up schools.
All right.
I've not answered the question you asked me about performance.
I'll let Mr. Katimbo take that one. Performance, as your closing remarks, take one or 2 minutes away.
Yeah, thank you so much. But before I go to performance, I would ask one thing. Like you have heard, this curriculum requires hands-on. This curriculum requires students to do personal research. Therefore, I call upon government to do something, especially for private schools, but even government. They can subsidize on the, actually I would call for waiver of taxes on scholastic material. Say we are talking about laboratory equipment, we are talking about books, so that we can procure them. When we procure them, then the learners will benefit out of this program because they will be doing it. But back on the performance, we performed exceptionally well. And I want in this case to really appreciate our pioneer students of the new curriculum because they did us proud. And the teachers for the work done and the parents for the support.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Government, as you have heard, some recommendations from the education experts. yes, there's still a lot that needs to be done, especially as far as the ICT infrastructure equipping of these schools is. Many schools in the city, CBD, might be privileged to have these facilities, but many of those upcountry are still lagging behind. And if this is going to be a curriculum that should see its effectiveness pass, then everybody needs to be included in the growth. Otherwise, thank you very much. We've come to the end of our weekly roundup news bulletin, and congratulations to the candidates that passed. I'm yet to find out what happens to those that actually failed, whether they repeat one subject or they repeat the whole. Yeah, I don't know, but we will be sharing with you some of those updates right after this. Thank you very much.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.